Cleo being supportive, that's definitely sus. So what are you doing today, Joe?
I realized I spent all this time last week working on templates for drawing stuff, but I never actually got to use any of the colored pencils. So I think I'm gonna open with just doing some kind of free drawing pattern design with the color pencils, and then maybe I'll try and do something specific with them later. But like, I just want to mess with the new colors first. That's kind of my first thing.
Okay, well, that seems reasonable. That seems fair.
What about you?
My other half gave me a unicorn paint. So I'm going to paint a unicorn.
Oh, that's
and,
fancy.
And brought me paints as well. I got like an entire set of paints because I didn't really have any.
Oh,
so,
nice.
Unicron. We've got the Unicron going. This is the hang on. Unicron. Very, very pale. But I did just I haven't opened this yet, but I didn't expect like everything I've got. So I've got a palette knife, which I didn't know I had. Hey Jem, how you doing? You're welcome to join us if you just want to chat.
Yep, we are in open voice.
We are in the open voice chat, and I got lots of paints and like putty layers of paint. So there's lots of stuff going on here.
Oh, fun.
Oh crikey, there are people. Sanostratus has resubscribed for 11 months. NX Super has resubscribed for 9 months. Arterial Red has resubscribed for 14 months. Unicorn Obstinous. Thank you.
Hype train rolling in.
Okay, that hype train is working. Even though I turned the layer, I'm very confused.
Yeah, computers.
I know. I turned things off and now it's on, and it wasn't working because Twitch has changed API and all that sort of stuff. So yeah. So that's.
Yeah, I love it when Twitch changes API.
Yeah, without warning.
Yeah. If people want to see how insane my pinball dimension notes are, I'm gonna put those up on screen real quick. I've got like a bunch of random notes and measurements about the coin door. And then like the coin slot and the rejection button and stuff. It's like, I actually did like a tracing, or what do you call it? Is it not a tracing, a rubbing, where I just put the page over the coin door as well so I could see the dimensions. I don't know how well the contrast on that's going to show up though, but...
Let me look. I do have you on a tiny window here.
A tiny window.
Oh gosh, yeah, your notes are like, you know how in like horror movies they have the perpetrator and they find their notes.
Yeah.
That's how I imagine that to be. So well done. The layer turns itself on when the train starts and off when it ends. Oh, okay. So yes, I've got a Unicron. It's very pretty and small. I'm probably gonna have it up like this most of the time. But there is some discolor. I mean, to be fair, it's a kid's toy, so you know.
Yeah. That's pretty big, actually. That's cool.
What do you mean? It's about the size of my hand.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty large for a unicorn.
I'm assuming horses are quite...
I don't know. Well, see, the thing is, like, in D&D, like, a lot of time... I'm used to painting D&D miniatures, where stuff is, like, way smaller, you know?
But you can tell this is a kid's toy, because it's a unicorn. I've got a pink brush, which is... hang on. Which is not great, because you can see the bend in it. But also, I've got these, so I'm good. Thank you, Ema Star, for the 9-month resub, and Tass for the bits for the unicorn height. Danny Rose resubscribed for 40 months. Choo Choo, still happy there are no exits here. Weird people. And Bakura cheered biddies and is now out of Unicron bits. These are meant to be garden gnomes, so she'll be able to see outside from a distance. If this is a garden gnome, I'm not gonna lie. One, it's made out of plaster, which would melt. And two, it's quite unstable and light. So if this is a garden, if this is a garden gnome, then no. And I've got to have a drink, and I've got these paints, which is white, grey, pink, and purple. Not your fault. I'm not blaming you, honey. You're just saying. I'm stating facts. I'm here, I'm painting it. It's doing what you wanted for me. It's fine. One of these is supposed to be a glitter paint, so I'm gonna try opening them and see what happens, because this is bound to go well. Glad you bought better paints than that. Yeah, tell me about it. This was my birthday present from Cam. That is... Oh, that's the sparkle paint.
Oh, should I say happy belated birthday, or is your birthday still upcoming?
My birthday's on the 16th, so it was a case of early birthday present because, you know, shipping.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about international shipping, is it's like, you know... Yeah, because I found like a lot of times it's easier to just try to get something from like London that there's no way that somebody could accidentally ship it from the United States just because I'm using a US credit card, right?
Yeah.
Because like you know, if you try to order something like, oh, I ordered an umbrella, they might just send it from the center nearest to me, not the one from Europe or whatever. But if I said, like, here's a Fortnum and Mason Halloween basket or something, there's no Fortnum and Mason here. They're not going to accidentally send it from Chicago.
No.
It's not going to go through customs.
What Cam found out is that if they go to the UK site of, like, Amazon, they're quite happy to do it. So, you know, it's fine. So I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do with this unicorn, because I do not want to paint it pink and purple.
But that's the only paints they gave you? But did you get a separate paint kit?
He sent me like 32 colours of paint.
Oh, okay, yeah, then you should be fine.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do with it, because, you know, I could make it girly and sweet and cute. Zombie unicorn time. I was thinking more creeper unicorn. I could make a creeper unicorn. I'm not sure how, but creeper unicorn is definitely a thing that I could do. Make like little squares, little green and... I feel like I need to take sandpaper to this, but then I remember, Cleo, it's a kid's toy. It's a kid's painting thing.
Don't take sandpaper to it, Cleo.
No, it's a case of it's got molding lines on it, which is
gotcha.
like, and I have done like miniature painting before, so mine is just like, gotta get it smooth. I don't have to get it smooth.
Yeah, you can do what you want.
Yeah, base green and modified could work. Black and red and evil. Eggshell and cream. Done. Although there is some slight yellowing, so I couldn't get away with just the cream and just leaving it like that. So, you know, I'm overthinking this.
Oh yeah.
It isn't exactly right for a My Little Pony, but I'm sure heavily derived from it. Oh yeah. That's why they do these things. A Trojan allegory. What I would really like to do is I've also got a gnome that Cam sent me, which is in my box. And what I want to do is when I paint that is I want to get some clay and make like little steampunk goggles and accessories for it. But I want to see how it handles paint first. I appreciate you overthinking it. I mean, somebody has to. Thought you want to sand it to key for paint adhesion. No. I'll put a couple of coats on it. It's fine. Because if this is a creeper, then this is the explosion. So, you know, because it's got on a cloud. So I think, I don't know, what base colour is... I don't want to... if I'm going to do a base coat, I want a colour that's closest to, because I've got 3 greens. 3.
Now,
I've got 2 titanium whites. Oh, that's good.
Does it say it needs a primer coat?
No, but it's ceramic, so
it could use one. Yeah.
It could use a paint. Like if I just do it in green, then I can do it like several times. Add glitter to make your unicorn sparkle. That's all the information it gives. I do have glitter, so maybe glitter. But let's I'm not sure which green to use. I mean, the sap green is probably the closest green to like the general base color of creeper. So maybe that. The names are cool. I mean, they're just regular standard paint names. Okay, let's make it green.
Oh wow, that one barely shows up at all.
Yep, I cannot see that on this screen.
You could see me moving the pencil though, like you could.
Yeah, I can absolutely see you moving the pencil.
Yeah, well, if it makes you feel better, that's good camera quality, because it's barely showing up on the paper, like, or at least on this paper. If I was using like a colored paper, it would definitely show up. But yeah, okay.
I could use glitter on the explosion. I absolutely could. I'd have to go up the stairs and find it. So, you know, if I'm going to do this properly, it might take a couple of sessions to do. Because if you look at that, look at all how streaky that is. Yeah, it definitely needs a base coat.
Yeah.
But since we're here, let's give it a base coat.
Yay.
Yay. Don't unicorns poop glitter? No, they poop rainbow ice cream.
Oh wow.
I have visual evidence for that. I have visual evidence of that.
Do you?
Look up the Squatty Potty.
Yeah, I don't.
The Squatty Potty rainbow advert, and then you'll understand.
Gotcha.
It's not bad, and it's not rude. It's just got a little unicorn pooping out.
Gotcha.
Pooping out ice cream. That's all it's got. Where was I? Polar Void has resubscribed for 2 months. Happy early birthday. Well, I will be here for my birthday because I'm not doing anything until afterwards. Thank you, Strabo, for resubscribing for 13 months. I will also point out that Joe takes tips and donations as well because he hasn't mentioned it.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. I just got excited about the color pencils. I'm messing around with the new stencils and the new pencils, trying to see like how the colors that are kind of similar but not exactly the same to each other would show up next to each other, or ways I could use them. So right now we're not doing any particular drawing yet. We're just kind of playing with the new colors and getting a feel for them, you know?
I was being a good friend, CJ.
No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Sorry, but just in my chat, people were asking what's today's drawing going to be. So I was letting them know that there's no
makes sense.
There's no concept yet, other than just I want to mess with colors.
I want it to be pretty. Thank you, Paleo Pushed and Ellie Kitty, for the biddies. It's very much appreciated. This is going to be streaky as heck. Heckin' streaky. Which is fine. Will I meet other hermits IRL this year? Well, I didn't meet them last year, and I didn't meet them the year before that, or the year before that, or the year before that.
Yeah. I mean, the earliest...
the year before that. So, yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, I mean, the earliest I'm going to get over there is next spring or summer.
Yeah.
So... And even then, I'm dubious that I'll meet Cleo.
I've agreed to meet Joe.
But I have also accepted that might fall through. So no pressure.
No pressure.
I would not be going to London to meet Cleo. I would just be going over there in general.
Joe is just very aware that that meeting me is not something anybody wants to do. So... How quick is that dry? Oh, it's tacky. Okay, so...
Where can I put this?
It might dry quicker than I thought it was going to.
Oh,
I mean, the layer is very, very thin.
Mm-hmm.
So...
somebody says, are these paint-based pencils? No, I don't think so. These are Derwent Pro Colors and Derwent Metallics. So I think
Those don't sound paint-based.
I don't think they're paint-based. They're not watercolor pencils. I know that. Well, the metallics might be watercolor-based. Actually, let me check that. Water-soluble metallic pencils. But I actually... Oh, that was one of the things I was going to test. I was going to go get one of my waterproof notebooks. Because I've got these waterproof notebooks that are made of Tyvek.
I'm going to smile and nod and pretend I know what that means.
Oh, yep. Okay. Well, you know when houses are under construction and they put that paper-thin plastic on the outside to keep them from getting moisture on them?
Yeah.
That's Tyvek.
Oh, okay.
So, when I used to take my daughter swimming all the time, I got some waterproof notebooks. You can't write on them with pen because it'll just come off. So maybe they're not Tyvek, because Tyvek you can write on with pen. I don't know. There's some sort of special plastic paper, but you can write on it with pencil and it'll stay. So that way I could like be hanging out like at the like in like the shallow end of the pool, sitting on the steps or whatever, writing down poetry ideas or things like that, or planning videos or stuff. Because like and you might think like, well, you should be playing with your kid. It's like my kid doesn't, or at least when she was younger. Kids don't want to go to the pool and play intensely with their parents for 1 hour.
No.
They want to go to the pool and play intensely with their parents for a little bit. And then when they see another kid, they want to hang out with that other kid for 3 or 4 hours. And so if I don't find a way to keep myself entertained for like the additional 3 or 4 hours after I play with her while she's playing with the other people's children, then she's going to be mad at me that I didn't bring something to do and I want to go home. So,
Oh my God.
What? Does that not make sense?
No, it does make sense, but I'm just enthralled that is a thing that your kid thinks of. Dad, you should have got something.
You should have brought something to do. You knew we were going to be here for a while.
Yeah, that's the conversation that I'm
Yeah. Emerald Storm says
every parent ever.
Yeah. Emerald Storm says you can get waterproof pens. So that is the exception for that paper is you can use like the waterproof astronaut pens. Like there's special kinds of ink you can use on them, but the ink for the pens is so expensive, and if I'm going to be in a swimming pool or water-filled environment anyway, I don't want to bring a nice pen. I'd rather just bring a number 2 pencil. So yeah. Hey, we just got our first tip of the stream rolling in from Mitchell. Thank you so much for the 10, Mitchell. That's going to get us 10 degrees of rotation. We're doing rotation-based tips today during the arts and crafts stream.
Rotational tipping.
Rotational tipping, yeah. So every dollar that comes in, the camera will rotate 1 degree. So let me make sure I've got the right layer here. Yay, so we're at 3, 4, 5. It's like pumping gas. I'm just like scrolling the thing. Oh, 10. There we go.
I don't
Yay.
I don't pay attention really to when I pump gas anymore. It's sort of like I can afford to fill it up to a full tank.
Just fill it up.
So I fill it up, and at this point, I feel very blessed that is a thing that I am able to do because I didn't used to be able to.
Mm-hmm.
So I am very aware of watching the dial.
Yeah. Well, because it used to be one of those things like when you would pay cash too. It's like, oh, I want to get it exactly even because I don't have like any coins on me. I want to get it on the dollar.
Exactly.
So.
I don't think I ever paid in cash when I've got like.
Yeah, I think. Well, y'all were ahead with a lot of stuff with credit cards and things. I think, but because like credit card security here isn't great at gas pumps. And so that's like one of the most common places that skimmers are installed where people will steal the info off the mag swipe.
Yeah.
And so even though the technology exists to pay with a credit card, you don't necessarily want to unless you're somewhere that's got like manned attendants or like, like people keeping an eye out for that sort of thing.
That's reasonable, I suppose. I hadn't ever thought about that, but sure. To be fair, though, when I go to cash machines, and I very rarely do because, don't need to, I always check to see if there's a skimmer on there.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Because I used to work at a bank and somebody put a skimmer on the machines outside.
Oh, jeez.
And, it was a case of... this person's card got eaten and they didn't type in their number afterwards because it wasn't showing up on the screen properly.
Mm-hmm.
And the scammer just put their card through the bank slot because they couldn't skim from it. So they just thought, well, there's no point. I'll just give it back to them. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm like, seriously, dude?
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though, is that y'all have way better security on those cards than we do. And so, like, for us around here, like, yeah, if you get skimmed, your card's just gone. Somebody's just going to use it. And it used to happen to me almost every time I traveled, to the point where I was just like, okay, I'm just not going to use my credit card when I travel.
Yeah.
or debit card or whatever.
That's terrifying.
At least not on gas. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just spend cash. You might as well at that
Yeah.
point. If you're gonna get it stolen anyway, might as well just use cash. In the US, they still use the magnetic stripe. Like, what year is that? Really?
Yeah, that's
You
what I
don't
was
have, like,
saying.
chip?
No,
You
no.
don't have chip?
Well, we do now, but they're not widely. They've only really rolled out wide support for them in the last
Wow.
like 18 months since the pandemic hit.
Jeez.
So like
That surprises me. I don't know why it does, but it does.
yeah.
Because I mean, I've had a chip on my card since I was at uni. I didn't do anything for a good long time, but I had one.
Mhm.
Oh, they rolled out the chips before it was actually useful, which I suppose is the smart way of doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, so we had chips in the cards, but just they weren't exclusive, right? You could still use.
Yeah. Oh
'Cause
yeah. I mean,
most
I can
shops
still, I
only
can still...
support the mag stripe,
Oh.
or at least that was the case 2-3 years ago when they rolled out the chips, right? But like places have been upgrading their readers over the last year.
I see. That's a thing.
Yeah.
I've only ever had a chip on my card. That suggests you're very young, or at least
Or
younger
didn't
than
get
me.
a card until recently. Because I mean, some people just don't need one.
Really? Okay.
Well, I mean, like, if you like live near your bank and you don't have a hard time getting cash.
Well, we had a like when I was before I got a card, they used to charge to go to the machines.
Mhm.
So yeah, people used to get as much money out as they possibly could at once
Mhm.
to avoid the fees,
Mhm.
or they just use their cards
Makes sense.
because yeah. I'm already aware that I'm getting green on the cloud, which is fine because I can change that. But look at how splotchy that is. I am going to fix it. Don't worry. This is just coat number 1.
It's a work in progress. This is, all this stuff is iterative.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Let's see. I've got pewter 81 and silver 80. I'm guessing that the numbers are just like the I don't think... Okay, yeah, because bronze is 84. Whoops, the labels weren't in frame. So I guess the numbers on the pencils are just for, like, if you need to order a replacement. And so
That would make sense.
they put the number way up toward the back end. So if you've already used most of it, you could still see, like, oh, I need another 84.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I guess, yeah.
You'd have to be a very professional artist for that to be a thing, though.
Well, I mean, or you just know what you want,
I never know what I want, so. Like the bits I started with are dry, so I can do another coat straight away, pretty much.
Okay, so we got silver, pewter, felt gray, and gunmetal. Because I used to have no good grays. That was one of the problems I was running into with those woodblock prints, was that I was just trying to use the black less harshly, but it's charcoal black,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So that wasn't really working. So let's go ahead
It
and
wasn't
try some of
really an
these.
option, to be honest.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I think felt gray here is probably the lightest of these. That's not really showing up too well on the white, but at least not with a light press.
This is gonna need more than 2 coats, which is fine. Bank has a limit on the amount I can use my card for. Oh. Well, I think everybody's. I mean, I don't have a limit that I can use my card for, but they do run checks if it's for a large amount. Like they're just like, you need to open this thing on your app and approve this purchase.
They'll like call me and be like, "Hey, are you in an airport trying to take out money from the ATM?" And I'm like, "Yes." Okay, cool.
That's cool. We'll allow it.
I'm like, "Thanks," because yeah, I meant it's like usually like, oh, I get to the airport, I'm like, there was one thing I forgot to do. What was I always forgot to stop at the bank.
Yeah, that'll do it. A limited amount for contactless, yeah. I mean, I think it's like £100 that I can just tap my card and go.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know if you have a limit on your card taps.
I don't think I have contactless. I think that's gonna come in my next card.
Oh, but if you've got a chip, then...
Well, the chip requires contact. It has to go into the chip reader. It's not a tap chip.
Oh, okay. I thought... Well, never mind, it's fine.
I don't think it's a tap chip.
What? I'm not talking directly into the mic. What's wrong? Can you not hear me? Can I turn Joe down a little? I'll do it over here. User volume down a bit.
Yay.
Can you talk? Is that any better?
An angry man. There is my story. The bitter rancor of Achilles, prince of the house of Peleus, which brought 1,000 troubles upon the Achaean host. Many a strong soul it sent down to Hades, and left the heroes themselves a prey to dogs and carrion birds, while the will of God moved on to fulfillment. Is that good?
That's good.
Yay.
Yay. I can't use music anymore on my stream.
Why not?
Mostly because I'm uploading them to YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's a good move.
So yeah.
Yeah.
And I realised that when I got a video claimed, I went, poop.
Yep.
I'd forgotten I was using other people's music. I will remember that in the future. But that's fine, they can have that video. They're not copywriting it, so it's alright.
Yeah.
It's just hey, did you know?
People are asking
my music.
Yeah. It's like, womp womp.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal. So that's the side of the second coat. This is what it looks with the first coat only. Mm-hmm. There is a distinct difference. Yay, I got monetized on that channel today.
Oh, on the second channel?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
On my VOD channel. So, were you gonna go, were you not monetized this whole time?
No, I was like, oh, okay. I don't think I was tracking the that you weren't uploading these to your main channel, because I'm just doing the one channel thing.
Yeah.
And I'm just, because it's like, look, if I start trying to figure out which channel things go on, it'll drive me crazy. I hate taxonomizing things like that. It's like, okay, so like should the Guppy Geyser go on the VOD channel? Because it's not a VOD. But, or like, yeah, that sort of thing. I would just go nuts. I can't do it.
I've just decided that all my streams go on my stream channel, and then anything else that is like pure Hermitcraft goes on my main channel.
Yeah. Lily says, Joe, I missed what the color sampling is for. Oh, I got new pencils, and I'm trying to see how the colors that are kind of close to each other work with each other. Also, Plant Pal Flynn, you're welcome to do your homework while watching the stream. I do work while watching streams all the time.
Yeah.
And then somebody says, can I ask a question about... If you ask, can I ask a question that's already against the rules, I'm too lazy to time you out right now, because I would have to take the pencil out of my hand to use the mouse, but normally I would have timed you out for that. So you just get a nice warning. Which, to me, is kind of...
ask a question. If it's out of line, then...
Yeah, because
don't ask it.
It creates a weird delay problem for the streamer if you ask, can you ask a question? Because then they have to see it, and then they have to tell you yes, and then you have to ask it. But it holds up the whole stream.
They'll miss it. They'll miss your question.
Mm-hmm.
Because I always do.
If you have a question, you need to just ask it, and then the streamer can decide whether or not they want to answer it. Because I ignore questions all the time if I don't think it's entertaining or interesting to answer. Luckily, I don't even
I can
remember.
hear the dogs.
Is the dogs too loud?
Well, they're not. They're dogs. They don't get too loud or too quiet. I'm just
I mean,
saying I can hear them.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm not fussed by dogs.
Yeah, sorry. I live in the city. There's always somebody out the window.
That's fine.
But Emma Taylor says, "What's Cleo's second channel called?" Yeah, Cleo. If people want to find your second channel,
It's called Cleo Streams. It's at the bottom of every single Hermitcraft video.
Okay.
It's at the end of every Hermitcraft video as a link.
Okay. So you can find that on Cleo's YouTube, on her main YouTube. You can find her secondary YouTube. Woo!
Yay! Organization!
Yay!
It's the one with the purple eyes. Please turn your dogs down. Oh, puppies.
Turn down for dogs. Is that a hit song? I don't know.
I don't know, but if it's not, it probably should.
Probably should be. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Why isn't it? If not, why not? Right?
If not, why haven't you made it yet? Because that seems like a you thing to do.
Yeah, it does. Right?
It does.
Yeah. Okay. I'm really liking how these different purple-ish, magenta-y ones go together on the metallics. I don't use a lot of purple and magenta in my stuff, but it's good to have that as an option.
Yeah.
Right now, we're not really sketching anything yet. We're just doing color sampling.
He's just doing color swatching, which is fine.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to paint the cloud until the rest of the unicorn is dry, because otherwise I will ruin this mighty fine piece of artwork I hath wrought. And you can tell I'm taking it seriously because I used like Old English. That's how you know.
Mousemac says, Joe, did anything happen with the community meetup the second weekend in May? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I needed to ask you, what days are you actually passing through Nashville? Because I'm slammed Friday and Saturday. Which days? I don't have a calendar in front of me. Now I'm like, I should have made one of those calendars like Cleo does. So calendar.
I am not
2022.
Useless waste of space. I
Yeah.
do know what I'm talking about half the time.
Well, yeah. Apparently, just Google image searching calendar 2022 is not a good idea. There's a lot of calendars with people.
See,
on them.
I just opened the calendar in the bottom corner.
Is there an app on the computer for calendars?
No, but if you just click on the time, does it not come up with a
Oh, maybe.
calendar?
Is that? Oh, they do that now. Okay, sorry, I haven't used Windows.
They've done that for many years.
I haven't used Windows for like a long time. Okay, the only thing I use this computer for is streaming and recording. So
I don't know what this sponge is for, but I'm using it to dry my pencil.
Okay.
My pens, my what do you call it? My
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, says Mouse Mac. Okay. Localism, Thursday the 12th through the 20th. Okay. So, yeah, I was going to say, I need to actually announce something. I'm slammed the 13th and 14th and part of the 15th with family stuff. But I need to figure out... Yeah, Yeah. Let me write this down. So 12th through 20th. Yeah, because I'll probably just reach out to... There's a few cafes that I can do this at that have a lot of outdoor seating. So I need to check and see what time I'm going to be available on Sunday the 15th. Otherwise, I'll push it to... Yeah, because doing these public meetups is usually better on a weekend because, like, people with kids can bring their kids, and also people aren't at work. So, yeah. What? It's true, Cleo.
Oh no, I was laughing at chat. Teeny tiny streaky pony. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm laughing at chat. Thank you, Cheese Mouse, for the biddy. Said to have a quiet week and you're on your way to Tennessee. But first, more maths.
What time?
Una resubscribed for 11 months, and Captain Sorate has resubscribed for 2 months. To remove paint from pottery, works for plaster. Okay, well, that's good to know. How am I doing? I am doing okay, I think. I think I can do a third coat. It might take at least 4 to get it less streaky. To be fair, it looks worse on screen than it does in real life. So, you know how it do be sometimes. It's a green pony.
Okay. So I just sent my family a text to figure out what time I'm actually free on the 15th, and we'll go from there. Okay.
That's a good thing to do.
Yeah. Because I've been meaning to schedule this, but they kept changing their plans, and I was like, I don't want to say, like, oh yeah, let's do it at noon or something, and then they're like, oh, actually, we need you to hang out until noon, and it's like, well, then okay, I should have said 1. It's like, because once you announce something, it's harder to change it, you know?
Yeah. Once you've announced it, then it's just like work.
Yeah.
You can't change it.
Yeah, and the other thing is I kind of wanted to make sure that Nashville didn't, like, suddenly become a COVID hotspot. If I announced this, like, a month in advance, and then it was just like, actually, we're closing all the coffee shops, then it's like, well...
Yeah, that seems fair. That seems fair.
Okay. Okay.
I like the unicorn. To get better colouring, do a thin layer of a darker shade to create a base to allow full colourage. Pretty dark. Is it a My Little Pony unicorn? No, it's not. It's just. Well, to be fair, I think they're alicorns, aren't they? If they are both winged and.
Oh, is there a word for that?
Unicorns. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I should make a stencil, although I'd have to have diagonal crossbars to hold the pieces. But I could make an @ symbol stencil.
Reaper horse socks.
Have you seen my dice tray, Cleo?
No. Do I want to see your dice tray?
Well, I mean, you can if you want.
Show me your dice tray.
Yeah. There's some problems with the magnets, so we didn't go into mass production, but...
That's neat.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Yay. But yeah, at that time it pulled out 3 magnets. Because, the guy who was 3D printing them was like, well, the magnets should stay and we don't need to glue them. And I'm like, well...
No, you absolutely do need to glue them.
Yeah, it turns out you do. Because, yeah. Which is going to add a process step. But it's worth doing. But yeah, I've got 10 prototypes of these I've just been giving out when people come to conventions and stuff that I run into.
That's cool.
But, like...
That's cool.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, at the point where I'm spinning up a merch store where I'm actually dealing with sales tax and stuff, like, I want to have, like, cool things that are, like, actually custom and neat, but I don't want them to, for example, have magnets that pop out all the time. Now I'm getting frustrated. That's not cool. So,
no,
yeah.
It's not cool. Am I painting a zombie horse or is it just green? It's a creeper
Why
horse,
is it
well,
not...
at least it will be.
Oh, it's because I put the magnets in upside down. I put half of them... That's the other thing, is once they come out, if you put them in upside down, then they'll repel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, if they're attracted to each other...
Then they'll pull each other out.
Then they'll pull each other out. You need to glue them.
Yeah, we learned that. This is why you prototype your stuff.
Do you not have glue now?
Like, not, like, within reach. And
okay.
Not necessarily the right kind. Like, I mean, I have, like, Elmer's glue, but if you wanted to adhere polish-coated magnet to a plastic, like, there might be a specific... that's part of what I need to research. Okay.
Right.
Cool. Okay.
Metu Salem cheer biddies, thank you very much. Shrek and Donkey's love child. Wow. You're not wrong, but I hate you for saying it.
Okay. So. Okay. So, okay, I now know what times I'm available. I need to check in with some cafe owners and see who's available and whatever.
Doesn't mind you turning up with a bunch of randos.
Yeah. Well, because the big thing is that you really need to do these events somewhere that, for one thing, sells coffee for any parents that drag themselves out of bed to take their kids to this. Right? No, because seriously, like, when I'll be like, hey, we're doing this local meetup. Come hang out. It's, it's at, noon at this cafe or whatever, right? And I'll expect, like, some locals to want to hang out and talk or whatever. But then somebody will be like, yeah, I drove here from Ohio because my kid insisted. And it's like,
Wow.
oh my gosh, that's like 5 hours. Like, you're...
I am so sorry.
Like, yeah, and so that's the thing, is it's like, so you want to be somewhere that has food and caffeine. You also have to be somewhere that doesn't have table service, because waiters or waitresses trying to deal with, like, Twitch meetups or things like that, like, I have seen more waitresses break down sobbing at Twitch meetups than at any other type of event I've ever been to. In fact, that's the only time I've ever seen waitresses break down sobbing. But it's happened several times. Because, like, you'll, for a Twitch, like, meetup, Twitch would have some random affiliate or partner in Nashville would be like, hey, we're all going to this restaurant. And then, like, 40 or 50 people would show up, right? And, like, so we would take over a restaurant, but people would be coming in and out over the course of 4 hours, and sometimes people would leave without paying, and nobody knows who's on the hook for certain things, and, like, it's just a mess, right? So
It's frustrating, yeah.
So you do it at a cafe where you go up to the counter and you say, hey, I want a burger and fries and a coffee, or whatever. You go somewhere with a full kitchen. So if somebody's hungry, they don't have to be like, let me run across the street, and then they're coming back to the cafe with McDonald's. That bothers the cafe owners, who are like, well, we sell baguettes, right? So you don't go to the cafe that only sells baguettes. You go to the cafe that sells sandwiches and burgers and poutine and whatever, right? So that way people don't have to go in and out. You go one that has counter service, so that everybody pays before they get their food. Everybody can order at different times as they wander in and out. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's just every time.
It's not fun for anyone.
Yeah, every time that there's been a Twitch meetup announced at a place that didn't have counter service, I would kind of be like, hey, I kind of reach out to the organizers and be like, hey, when the last person organized one of these, it went kind of sideways around that. Like, do you guys have a plan? Have you talked to the owners? What do you do? And they're like, nah, it'll be fine. It's like, the reason we have so much turnover in the local Twitch meetup organization scene is because of how terrible it goes every time you do this. Like, just stop doing it. Like, it's stressful for the wait staff, it's stressful for the organizers of the events, because they keep not realizing this. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
And now you've made a random person cry. Are you happy with yourself?
Yeah. And it's one of those things where it's like, for me, I'm like, look, can I throw in, like, an extra, $30-$40 to offset whatever people walked off? And it's like, oh no, people walked off with, like, $400 worth of stuff. And I'm like, you can't keep doing this.
Every 6 months, plan ahead.
Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it's like people just wandered in, ordered stuff, like maybe people who weren't even part of our group, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then wandered off, and because they thought it was like a corporate party where everything was paid. You see what I mean?
Oh. Wow.
And that's a problem.
That is a problem. Yeah, no, never doing that. That sounds awful.
Yeah.
That sounds absolutely terrible.
Yeah, so... Yeah, Hunter Colony says, full kitchen, no table service, large outdoor seating. I see why that's hard to find. There's a handful of places like that in Nashville. But if any of them...
And you're barred from all of them.
No, I'm not. No. The places I'm describing, the meetups always go great. And the owners are thrilled because the nice thing about the counter service, too, is people will go in and they'll order a drink and some food or whatever. Or, like, they might be like, yeah, I'll get some fries or an appetizer. And then they see somebody else's, like, chicken sandwich come out. And they're like, oh, I'm going to go back and get another drink and a chicken sandwich. So by the end of it, it's like they've ordered a few coffees and an appetizer or a side, and then they got a meal, and then maybe, somebody's like, oh, wow, they have desserts here. Then somebody else goes back and orders dessert. And so, like, people are going in and out from our table and spending money continuously, So...
That sounds amazing for the company, yeah. I can see why they would like having you back.
Yeah. So I'm good when I do these things. It's just when other people do them, it can go sideways.
Yeah.
Mahi Zero says there's a lawsuit going on for hex-shaped 3D dice trays, 3D printed dice trays. So it's probably good you didn't mass produce them. Yeah. So I don't know if the guy who printed this he definitely did the design on the top, but based on my art or whatever. I don't know if the actual like hex thing here, I don't know if this thing is something that he paid for the rights to or if he designed it himself. But that's a good point, Mahi Zero. Yeah.
Did you design it yourself or did you pay for the rights? Is kind of a good...
Yeah. Well,
it's a good question to ask.
Yeah, and for the prototypes, which we were never planning to sell, if it's one of those things like, that's not quite as urgent, because if he needs to go back or if I need to go back and license the rights to the 3D printing file for like $300, but we know we're going to sell 60 of these or whatever, I think that would probably work out, or worst case, I know other 3D modelers that could probably make a 3D printing file from scratch that would be comparable to this for less. If the guy who made the original file for this wanted like $8,000, it's like, okay, fine, I'll just hire a 3D modeler for a few $100 and do it from scratch. Luke Chris Walker says it's not about who designed the specific file, it's about the pattern. A company tried to trademark that design. Yeah, because, Mechanoid points out these are all simple shapes to make in Blender. Yeah, because it's just hexagons. Yeah. Well, and I know a few people who do 3D modeling just as a hobby, and so this might be for them their first commissioned piece, and they'd be very excited, but...
Yeah. Gotta protect yourself.
Mahi Zero says it's a super frivolous lawsuit where a big name company is claiming a hex shape as trademark, which it isn't. Okay, normally I'm like, guys, don't come in here and promote companies, because that's spamming, right? Like, if somebody rolls in and is like, I just went to chain restaurant and got a name brand soda and this thing that they're advertising on television right now, it's like, okay, you might be guerrilla marketing, I'm going to time you out. But if you're giving me if you're talking about a court case, please give me the name of the specific court case, which is going to be like name of company versus name of defendant. Like, that's okay. I actually would very much like to know the name of the court case so I could actually read up on this. Because all of those documents are going to be in the public domain. Anything that's a fun thing about court cases is anybody can just go pull all the evidence and read it as long as it's not sealed. And
yep,
that's the sort of thing that I'm nerdy enough to do. Oh man, because I actually paid for access to the Tennessee Davidson County court system records, so that way anytime something got filed in my custody case, I could immediately get an alert, right?
Right, yeah.
And so, because you can set trackers on specific case numbers. So if anything came in with my case number, I could just go read it, right? Now, obviously, it's just peace of mind to know that, hey, nothing's come in. Oh, that's looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think that's 4 coats. I just need to leave it to dry for a little bit, and then we can start working on, I guess, squares of different greens and yellows, greens and whites.
Yeah, squares.
Grays. And then I can do like green streaks for the hair and grey.
So, but yeah, so when I was paying for that, access to the county court system records, anytime I saw anything on Twitter or in the newspaper like a lawsuit was filed about blah blah blah, I'm like, oh, let me just pull that up real quick. Oh, okay. I just read the arguments. It's like, thanks, Twitter for telling me what to go read myself, because Twitter's great for summaries, but I like to, and so same thing for newspapers. Actually reading what the arguments are yourself, you learn more.
That sounds cool.
Okay.
It's not what I would do for fun, but it is a very Joe thing to do for fun.
Okay.
So.
Antique gold and bronze don't really seem very different. Okay, the copper definitely is different. The case is Taylor versus Three Frog. Okay, thank you.
I enjoy watching dramatic courtroom stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily like watching the cases, but like reading the court opinion stuff.
Yeah, hold on. Somebody's doing. Sounds like a lawn crew just showed up outside.
Yeah.
It's time to get the window closed.
I did a year of criminology at university before I decided to go back into geology. I got really frustrated with it, so that's why I chose not to continue doing the psychology bit. Looks like it reminds you of that Mega Mind meme. Not sure which one you mean, but that's fine.
Pitt says, I loved hearing the birds in Joe's background before the lawn workers. Yeah, I'm not sure how much of the birds were coming through on your stream, because like they might not have triggered the...
I don't hear any birds. No!
Yeah, because Discord would normally like not transmit unless it's above a certain volume level. But people watching on my stream were hearing some birds in the background. Yeah, that's one of the reasons I like the window open. Also, just a breeze. Yay.
Have I ever got frustrated at the rock and stone?
Is that like the Rolling
because
Stone?
that's an inanimate object. Getting frustrated at inanimate objects probably means you have some kind of personality problem.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as I'm aware, I don't think I do. I don't think I do. Maybe I do.
No, you have personality assets.
Very diplomatic, Joe. Appreciated.
You're welcome. Personality opportunities.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the opposite of a problem? Like, if you were gonna go for just the straight antonym. No, that's a serious question. What word would you say is the antonym?
Like, honestly, I don't know. Is the honest answer.
Gotcha.
I tend not to get annoyed at inanimate objects. I get annoyed at myself more than I get annoyed at inanimate objects.
Oh, Fluffy Cactus suggests a solution. Yes, Cleo. Cleo doesn't have personality problems. She has personality solutions. I love it.
Wow. Thanks, I guess. It's fine.
Yeah.
Printers are fine so long as you use them as once a week. Yeah, no, I've gotten rid of so many printers because I don't use them. So I actually anything that I need printing, I have a company that prints stuff and just mails it to me.
Nice.
So I say I have a company like I know a guy.
Oh,
I don't know a guy. It's fine. Just trying to figure out how I'm going to do the squares on this. Because, I mean, they're going to have to be angled in some way. Do not just get irritated at the small things some days and decide to punch a table that you bumped into. No. Punching inanimate objects is a sign of a personality disorder.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will.
That aggression is
okay, but not all inanimate objects. There are some inanimate objects you can punch that does not indicate a personality disorder. For example, if you're a boxer or training to be a boxer, a speed bag is something that you could punch without necessarily having a personality disorder.
Punch bags are fine.
If you work at a smoothie shop and they have like a punch card that, when every time somebody buys a smoothie, you punch the card, punching the punch card there, not a personality disorder. If you work in a factory that has punch clocks where you punch in for your time, that's not a personality disorder. There's a lot of inanimate objects you can punch, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, but if you're punching because you just feel so angry, that's a problem.
Oh yeah, that's a different thing.
Yeah, that's an issue that you need to. Is it okay for you to punch a pillow sometimes, or should I be worried? It depends on why you're doing it. If you're doing it to get out your anger in a safe and sensible, reasonable way, then I don't see it different to a punch bag. But if you're punching something because in the moment you got so angry that you needed to hit something, that's the problem.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the only time I've ever done that was to, like, fluff the pillow, because I got these heavier pillows now that, like, just fluffing them from the sides doesn't... Like, you fluff them from the sides, and then you gotta kind of punch the middle to smooth them out, because otherwise they get too, like, center heavy, but I don't know.
Punching an inanimate object as an alternative to punching a person seems reasonable. Yeah, but if you get that angry that you're wanting to punch a person, that's already... a problem.
Yeah, that's the issue. It's like that's one of those things. Like, okay, yeah, that's kind of a trolley problem thing where it's like you can hit 5 people with a trolley or 1 person with a trolley. You can hit 1 person with a punch or 1 pillow with a punch. It's like you're still in this mindset where you assume you have to punch something, and you need to go off the rails there.
Yeah, I mean it's. I mean, the whole hitting thing is one of those... Oh, let's get into the debate. It's one of those toxic masculinity behaviours that people are calling out. People are rightly calling out these days. But a lot of people don't see the problem with it. They don't. It's like, if you're getting really angry that you are feeling the need to punch anything, then... yeah, that's an issue. But also, a lot of people, I'm gonna say people because, you know, things are in the media currently. It's a form of if you're doing it in front of the person, that's a form of abuse.
That's intimidation.
So, for example, I could be hitting you, but see how restrained I am? I'm hitting the wall. This could be your face. It's a threat.
Yeah, that's intimidation.
You know?
That's a clear threat. That's yeah.
If you're that angry, you need to step back, chill out, and yeah, I see what you're saying, Pushed. If you feel the need to hit something, that is a problem in itself. But if you're just like, I'm really stressed and pent up and everything, I'm going to take it out on this punch bag, not a problem, because, you know.
Well, because that's
its job.
If that's part of your athletic training anyway.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But, like, you know, there's a lot of ways that you can burn energy when you're upset. You can go running. You can do other things.
Yeah, I mean, I go for walks for an hour and a half, and that de-stresses me. That's like my daily routine at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I spend a lot of time walking, but I've never been an angry person anyway. I pretend to be.
Mm-hmm.
You're
not going on angry walks. You're not like singing
No.
"Walk Hard" from.
No, I got busted recently in one of my videos, in one of my streams, and somebody says, you didn't seem I said I was scared, because I was, and they said, you didn't seem scared. You seemed like you were gonna, you know, show them what for and that. And I'm just like, welcome to my entire personality, bravado. Because just because I show things on the outside doesn't mean I'm actually feeling them. Also, acting, yay.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if you have HBO. I probably do know that. I think you've told me no like 8 times when I've asked. So I
have indeed.
So I know whether or not you have HBO, but there's a show on there called Barry about this guy who comes back from Afghanistan and doesn't have any sense of... He's like a American soldier, and he doesn't have any sense of purpose. And so he ends up taking a job as a contract killer. And... As you do. And he... the first episode of the show is about him accepting a job to go kill an aspiring actor in LA. And when he follows the guy to his acting class, he falls in love with acting and decides that he's finally found his purpose after the war, is that he's going to be an actor. But the people from the world of contract killing keep trying to drag him back in to that. And all he wants to do is just be an actor. And it's about how he's only ever known how to express himself through violence, and he
Yeah.
trying to do something else, but the establishment of the habit of expressing himself through violence is just as hard to escape as the people who are trying to pull him back into the criminal underworld.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to establish a pattern of falling back on violence as how you respond to things, or you're going to subconsciously do it at times it's not appropriate.
Yeah. You need to learn to manage your emotions.
Yeah, and you need to learn to direct that energy. Like, there's a reason, so, and this is, not to be like, let's go pop psychology, but like with Pixar, they made that film with the emotions, and it's like, kind of depression is just a lack of emotional energy, right?
Yeah.
And so, the idea is, okay, we get angry sometimes when things are unjust or unfair. We don't need to say I will never get angry. We need to say, when I get angry, I will assess whether or not the thing I'm angry about is truly unjust or truly unfair, and I will find ways to work toward fixing that injustice, understanding that that's going to be bigger than something that I can do myself. I'm going to direct that energy toward being part of a community and toward being part of projects to fix things and make them better. It's it's okay. Yes, somebody suggested the name of the film might have been Inside Out. That sounds right to me.
Yes, I think you are probably correct.
Yes, but like, yeah,
Swear.
feeling things is a natural response to things. Humans are feeling creatures. That's fine. Nobody's like, what? You're angry. Something's wrong with you. It's because, like, right now especially, there's a lot of valid things to be very angry about. But
yeah, 100%. But you got to know how you got to be able to deal with things without violence.
Yeah, and that's actually something, like, so there's actually Cleo, I don't know if I talked to you about this, because it was one of those things that I went to on like a Thursday, and so then by the time we had our next call, it was like it was like the furthest thing from that next Wednesday, right? But one of my former professors was a leader and organizer of nonviolent protests in Nashville against the segregation of lunchrooms in department stores. And he was so successful, he actually got kicked out of Vanderbilt Divinity School.
What?
Seriously, because, well, you got to keep in mind, back in the 60s, a lot of the donors to Vanderbilt were very pro-segregation, right?
Ah, I understand.
And so
okay.
I
was thinking this was a new thing, but
no. This is in the 60s. Like, this guy was like just super active. He did a ton of work, and so they've created an institute that is going to kind of continue his mission of achieving justice through nonviolent means. And I actually got to attend the launch ceremony for that, which is like, anytime so you're like, okay, I'm gonna go to this thing and it's 2 hours of speeches, spoken word poetry, and live music. It's like, that could either be really good or really bad. It was one of the best, most inspiring things I've attended in my life. And they talked about the person who's going to be running this institute, who is not that professor because he's ancient now. But like he's helping them with, like, luckily his mind is still sharp, and so he's helping them organize it. But he couldn't run it day to day, So the person who's running the institute was talking about how, like, maybe it's too optimistic, but I found when we were starting to talk to donors and whatnot about establishing this, and they were like, okay, well, what is the mission? What is the goal here? Well, ideally we eliminate violence. that's not attainable today or in our lifetimes or ever, because humans are going to respond to things in violent ways at times. But that's what we should be working toward.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's what we are working toward. If we can find situations where of injustice and break those systems without violence, we're doing good work. And so, yeah, I'm very, very excited to see what they end up doing. And I'm actually so that they're gonna be offering. They're kind of still spinning up the institute. You know, this was like the launch ceremony, but most of the moving parts aren't actually fully operational yet. But they're going to be doing some courses and stuff that I'm actually hoping to attend and sign up for. I have to figure out how much they cost. They haven't announced that, but yeah, that's definitely, I think, worth budgeting toward, because like if I, you know, it's one of those things, like we have this audience and I know that people don't come to me for guidance in that way necessarily, but I feel like, you know, when things are going bad in the world, people do turn to entertainment as an outlet or as a distraction.
Absolutely.
And I need to at least make sure I'm not saying anything that's actively making things worse, right? Like, you know, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm going to become this great leader, but like, I'm at least going to try to make sure that I learn enough to be less of a problem.
Yeah, I mean, you know, at least like if you're trying, then that's half the battle, really.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Understood. I understand, at least.
So I'm really excited about them, and this is like the so and this is one, in my opinion, one of the greatest mistakes my alma mater ever made, was kicking this guy out back in the '60s, and the fact that they've been trying to fix it in the last few decades. They invited him back to be a professor when I was a student there, or shortly before I became a student there. You know, and so that was a very good step in the right direction. And then because I really benefited from his class, because, you know, the civil rights movement wasn't something that I lived through, and you know, my high school teachers weren't necessarily the best at talking about it. And
that could be personal preference, or it could be
a lot of
things.
They
just don't know.
Well, and they also, a lot of them grew up in a small town, and stayed in that small town. So whereas and so like, whereas what was going on in Nashville and Memphis and the big cities was a lot was a lot different, or a lot more confrontational in a lot of cases, if that makes sense. And so it was really eye-opening as an experience. So like I'm not those, like, I have never had my alma mater on my Twitter account or anything, like, because there are a lot of people who would be like, you know, name of university 2008 or whatever, you know, on their Twitter. But I was just like, you know what, this is the fact that they're doing all this work in the right direction makes me actually want to be like proud of them and being associated with them. That's new. That's cool.
That's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Yeah, I actually, you know, sent some money, you know, for like, in specific, because like I don't donate a lot to my alma mater, but with that institute opening, I specifically, because they have like donation categories, and so I could earmark like, hey, here's some money for this institute, you know, because I in the very least wanted to make sure I gave more than the amount of appetizers and wine I consumed during the ceremony. You know, like I wasn't just here for free food, y'all. You know, but I
was here because I actually believe the stuff that you say I should.
Yeah, I'm really glad that they're moving that way and doing that stuff, and so that's really exciting. But yeah, so that's the thing, is like, assuming that violence has to be the default is a cultural problem. But it's not one that we fix by pretending all anger is invalid, because there's a lot of valid things to be angry about. There's a lot of injustice, and we have to address it, or we're going to keep being angry.
Yeah. I think being
Sorry.
angry. Being angry sucks.
Mm-hmm.
If we can fix it so I don't have to be angry anymore, great. Great.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what we're here for. We're here to help you relax and manage your emotions if we can. We can't always.
No.
Sorry about that.
No.
Because we're humans.
Hermitcraft, embrace your humanity.
Yeah.
There we go.
I don't think I'm going to embrace my humanity, but I can accept it.
Hug your humanity. Just really get in there.
No, it's icky. I don't like it. Show humanity with a zombie. Zombies were people too.
Do, do, do.
I feel like I should talk to my friend who paints models.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the reasons that, like, I don't know. I got to the point with the model painting where I was like, okay, I'm going to have to start doing research on how to really take this to the next level. And that sounds exhausting. Like, I just want to craft on the stream, not necessarily, like...
Have to do stuff that I need to research.
Yeah, like doing extra work outside of the stream. It's like, no, this is my craft time. I don't have extra craft time. Like, where's that time gonna come from? I'm already, like, pretty overwhelmed.
I'm maxed, is what we're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You eating cheesecake again, Cam? Dang it. Apple pie. Ah. I'm impressed there's any of that left. Does look genuinely like he's got pox of some kind.
A pox upon it.
It does have pox. It has creeper pox. That's a legitimate thing. Let's go over the little squares. Some extra colour in there. To be fair, it looks better with me than it does on the stream. So it's fine. Fine. I'm using too much paint though because I want to get the colour right. Oh. Homicidal Hippie has resubscribed for 9 months. Hey, Twitch baby. Mini Cheese Mouse says, "Why be angry when you can write parody songs about the hermits instead?"
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. That's problem solved. Sachet Away has resubscribed for 4 months. Thank you very much. Oh, why is it fair enough? I need to look at something.
No, go for it.
That's okay. It's just... Have I made the purchase? Because my bank app's just gone off. Anytime now, bank.
What are you trying to purchase?
I'm not. It just says you've just purchased something, and I'm just like, no, I haven't.
Oh, is it like a monthly subscription, I hope, and not...
Oh, so do I.
Yeah, because sometimes I get a PayPal alert during the streams, and I'm like, what? yeah. I'm like, oh wow, that's a
Oh.
lot. And then I'm like, oh, that's not a tip, that's a bill. That's my
Yeah,
Adobe Creative Suite bill for the month.
that's my printing company because I've
Yeah.
got them to do some tax stuff for me.
Oh, gotcha.
So I was just like, why is things going off? I didn't do that. No, I did it last night. You want apple pie too? I mean, apple pie does sound delicious. Asking what the horse is made of. The horse is made of plaster. I have done custom My Little Ponies in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know. It was a long time ago and they turned out better than this. But, you know. Because you could put the hair on yourself.
Lily says, Joe, please make a singing Telegram service for Hermitcraft. You know, I've been looking for an excuse to practice my bass more. And so showing up with my bass on voice chat. But, like, I don't know that, like, a bass is great for singing telegrams.
I don't...
Maybe I need that. Maybe I just use the train whistle and I call it something like telegram train. And what I do is I like make a short rail line to wherever the hermit is working. And so like, so when they come out their door, they're like, "Why is there a train track that goes to my door?" And then I do toot toot telegram train. Zombie Cleo wants to invite you to her upcoming party. I should not have this job 'cause I'm not good at singing. Yeah.
I've heard worse.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. One thing I do need to do is Corrales had said after we did the Swedish thing that we should do some sort of song in Polish together. And I do want to have him teach me like some Polish Christmas carols or something. I think we should book that for like early November.
Yeah, that'd work.
Or something. Because like the Polish part of my family, like, I don't know. So I don't know how much Polish my grandfather actually even spoke, but he never spoke it to us. But like, it'd be cool to like learn some stuff from that.
Heritage.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing that I don't know is, I don't know for the Polish people who stayed in Poland how many Christmas carols they sang, because I know the Soviet Union did everything they could to like stamp out
there is a very Christian.
I know they were very resistant to it. You know what I realized? I think when the last tip rolled in, you know what? I didn't rotate the camera, did I? I'm so sorry.
How dare you?
I'm so sorry to Abigail that I didn't rotate the camera 5 degrees when you tipped earlier, and the new tip just rolled in, which is how I realized my mistake. And so thank you to Laura for tipping another 2, so that's going to get us up to 17 degrees. Do. Making sure we got that on the abacus here as well. So when we switch over to expansion-based stuff later, I've got a good count.
Okay. I am trying to figure out. Like, there is a very bright green colour. Because I've got, like, the base is this sap green. And those greens look vaguely the same. I've got Viridian green, sap green, and the phthalo green. The phthalo, I think.
Yeah, but Phthalo is almost like Cthulhu green, you know?
Yeah. I mean, it looks...
You know, if I did a Lovecraftian parody, I think I would use Phthalo as the Cthulhu drop-in. That's pretty close. Okay.
Okay. Right. I do believe this is, like, a more green. Hang on, let's test it by drawing a square of it. Oh yeah, that's a different kind of green whatsoever. I probably can't be seen.
Probably
oh,
can't
no, you can,
be seen.
just about.
Just about.
See. Shut up, Joe.
I'm having fun.
It's alright, Joe. I'm just a cranky old woman, it's fine.
Oh wait, this is opposite. Hold on. Dang it. Okay.
What's opposite?
Oh, I was gonna try and do like a spectrum thing here, but then I realized that it is gonna look like a rainbow because I'm using an arc, but I'm going in the opposite direction, so it's gonna look like an upside down rainbow. It's like that rainbow is distressed. They don't normally do that.
You stressed out rainbows, Joe. What
Yeah.
can you do now?
What are you gonna ruin next, Joe? Daffodils? It's like, okay. I'm sorry, everybody.
A teeny smish of yellow with the green. Maybe. I mean, but that is a very... Hang on. That is a very obvious different shade that I can notice that you guys may not. But since it's my unicorn for my birthday...
You get it the way you want it.
Yeah. My creepy unicorn. I maybe put a bit of yellow in it for the next set of squares. Stressed out rainbow seems very on brand for Cleo. How dare you sit there and speak the truth?
Cleo has no patience for the truth. You know what I just realized is if I had a 3D printer, I could 3D print my own stencils, although I don't know if they print anything this thin well. Because I was thinking, like, it'd be cool to make a stencil kit with, like, flipper, pop bumper, all of the drop targets, all the classic pinball things at scale, so when I'm designing my pinball thing. Oh, wait, hold on. I could just buy a sheet of plastic like this and carve into it. That's way better than 3D printing it. What kind of plastic do y'all think this is?
Depending on your capacity.
Oh, I don't even need plastic. I guess I could use cardboard. You can make stencils with cardboard. Wow, like this went from something where I'm like, wow, if only this could possibly exist, but I know it's silly, to like, oh no, I could literally just do that.
I could literally make this.
I could literally make, like, I'm not prepared to, I don't have the measurements for the components, but like, I could get that, and I could do it. Somebody says, why not laser cut it instead? 3D printing would be more exact. Yeah, you're definitely right, but for like what we're trying to do...
I mean, one of those things he has access to, the other one he doesn't.
Yeah, Lily says, acetate's relatively cheap, but cereal boxes are cheaper. Yeah, that's true. It's like, oh, dang it, I just went and dropped off the recycling. But yeah, I mean, within the next week... within the next week, I will have some cardboard. So, yeah. Okay. Cleo's a little quiet. I can turn her up. Usually we get the opposite problem. I was trying to make sure. I actually turned myself up a little bit because
which explains what. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Because I'm further from the mic, and so I turned the mic sensitivity up this time.
Fair.
So. Yeah, I'm not sure how reflective these metallic ones actually are, but maybe it's more obvious in the sunlight. Well, the sunlight isn't reaching the camera yet, so never mind. Y'all wouldn't be able to see that anyway.
Probably not, Joe. Probably not.
Yep. E.O. Lorian says, Joe, have you been to the Pinball Museum in Chattanooga? I have, yeah. That's actually where I filmed my first pinball video for Twitter of me playing Orbiter 1 and being like, what is this? How does this work? Like, none of us could figure... We're like, how would you even do this? So the thing about Orbiter 1, Cleo, is that the bumpers, instead of just rejecting the ball by bouncing it off of them, the bumpers are spinning at ludicrously high speeds. So every time the ball hits them, it gets a wild spin on it. And and the game is called Orbiter, and it's supposed to like simulate like weird low gravity stuff. And it is the trippiest thing because we were like looking at it. We're like, this has got to be magnets, but how? How would you do this with magnets? It's too much. It's too much for magnets. And like,
it's just magical, Joe.
yeah.
You've got to accept that pinball is magic.
So I'm going to search twitter.com for Orbiter 1 or Joe Hill's Orbiter. Dang it. Maybe I didn't say the name of it in there. Dang it. Joe Hill's Chattanooga? Wow, a lot of people tweet me about Chattanooga, apparently. Dang it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
I like this green. This green, I think, will be used for the hair. In almost its entirety. Happy birthday? No. This is my birthday present. It's not my birthday yet.
Oh, I can't find this video. It's gonna drive me crazy.
I'm sorry, Joe, that your video is hiding from you.
I know, right?
I mean, it's rude, and I blame the father.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
Because...
Okay, well, I've given up on that.
It had about 5 minutes of looking in you.
Yeah.
I understand that feeling.
Yeah. So I was gonna say, let's see, we're at the hour-and-a-half mark. I kind of want to go find that waterproof paper and see. I want to see how if there's a difference between how running water over it with the water-soluble metallics differs from the non-water-soluble other colors.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you mind if I go get that and then possibly a very stupid amount of water and something to pour it on?
Yeah.
Be right back.
Good, okay. It's fine. I'm just gonna sit here, chilling with my unicorn. Alicorn, I think. It's got wingers. Steam just told you had touch input. That seems a weird thing for Steam to make a judgment call about. So is this creepercorn or off the core? I don't know what you mean. Gotta have your alicorn of Lovecraftian horror fully painted before the birthday, otherwise no. I mean, to be fair, it's I think I'm gonna make the unicorn horn this colour sort of as well. I think I might use the glitter paint on this horn at some point, because I did get some glitter paint with the unicorn, because you can't have unicorns without glitter, apparently. But yeah, I do like... I don't think you can see it very well, but there is a differentiation in hair colour between... Now I can give you Joe Hill's secrets. I'm sorry, Joe really doesn't have very many secrets. There isn't a lot. Joe is, like, aside from personal things which I wouldn't tell you, there's very little I can tell you about Joe that he would not tell you himself first. That's just how Joe is. It's a very pretty popcorn. I love the fact that it's called popcorn now. That's the name of the unicorn. It's popcorn, because it goes pop when it's angry. Speaking of things that have anger issues, creepers. Creepers definitely. It goes pop when it starts and when it burns down. Never knew just what it was. And I can't remember. It's called that song is called The Mysterious Toy. It went when it stopped and when it stopped and when it... I can't remember the song. It was a very old song that my parents had on... I want to say vinyl, but it was definitely a kid's song. They just have a short fuse. Glitter always adds a lot of glitter. I will probably shade this at some point, or at least dry brush it, because I'm always relatively extra. Creeper tried to murder me. Can you ban it from the server? Sure, consider it done. Sorry guys, your mob farms no longer work. Creepers need to do breathing exercises or count to 10. I think creepers are just excited to see people because they run straight at them and then they just explode from excitement. It's not intentionally bad, it's just unfortunate. One creeper, not all of them. Well, I can't do it without getting all of them. I mean, it's not my fault you're a creeper bigot. The creeper farm never worked. Haha! Yeah, you sure showed me. Creepers are the yippy dogs of mobs. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. I wish you were, but you're not. You just want a hug. They do. They want a hug, but they can't contain themselves. One of my exes had a dog that was, let's call it incontinent, was incontinent. And it's every time, I'm not a fan of dogs because I got attacked by one when I was little. Well, I say little, I was 15. Littler than I am now. And my ex was just sort of like, no, you've got to come in. You've got to come in and pet the dog. Otherwise, they're going to wee on the carpet. And I'm like, I don't believe I signed up for this. Definitely did not sign up for a dog being the reason why a dog wet itself. I'm going to go. I did not go. It was a mistake. Okay. Let's get these squares painted. Well, that dries really dark. It dries much darker than I was expecting it to. What I need is some kind of matte varnish for this, because this is going to be super extra shiny. And this dries almost black. That's a you problem, not a me problem right there. I'm telling you. I wouldn't have minded, but I told him I was afraid of dogs beforehand. And I was told it's fine, you just need to find the right dog. I did not need to find the right dog. And then he told me he was going to get me a dog for my birthday. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're going to get you a dog for my birthday because I am not taking a dog. Because I'm afraid of dogs. And you don't buy people presents that are living things. My right dog is a cat. Yeah. I already had 2 cats. And I wasn't allowed a dog in my house anyway. And that was why that's now an ex. To be fair, they were a decent person, generally, aside from the... Aside from the, like, when I'd broken up with them, they turned up the next week and said, it's okay, we can go to the movies now together. And I'm like, no, I'm busy. And they were just like, oh, next time then. No. Some people are weirdly pushy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Cleo. I'm back.
Hi, Joe. Welcome back.
Okay, so I'm realizing I don't have a good place to put all this stuff.
Probably not.
No. Okay, so I realized I have a watering can, which is not something that I really need in my apartment,
no.
but I have one.
I need to watch this.
Okay,
I need
well,
to,
hold
like,
on,
we all
but
do.
I haven't actually. Okay, so I got the waterproof book, right? And I got a new one just because like these came in like a pack of 3, and I have one that I haven't done anything to yet. So just in case, because I haven't actively, I don't want to actively ruin if I find out like the watercolor part of this it like seeps out and dies every single page or something. I don't want to mess with one that I've already got stuff in, you know.
Yeah.
And I also
understand.
don't want to risk if they're the other ones that have stuff in them weren't necessarily designed to be shown on camera. So for all I know, there could be like people's addresses that I was mailing things to or stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a thing you do not want.
So I got a fresh notebook here. Hey, also we just got a tip rolling in from James for 10. So thank you very much, James. Let's get that camera rotated another 10 degrees here. So yeah, I'm going to do some coloring in this book, and then we'll pour water on it with a watering can. I brought a tray.
What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Exactly. It's like the computer's not under my desk anymore. Although the uninterruptible power supply is. And a bunch of other things. So, but yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Okay. So, the metallic ones are labeled as water soluble, but the other ones are supposedly not. So we're gonna do a stripe of water soluble teal here. Ooh, wow, that really goes on this paper nicely. I don't know if you can see that, but that's looking gorgeous. It actually looks like the teal of the glass. In a fun way. And then I'm going to do a non-water soluble teal. Not exactly the same shade, but similar. That's quite more of a light blue next to it here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to do the water soluble dark blue here. Then we're going to go with a more traditional dark teal. Midnight blue. Ooh, spooky. Wow, this paper is like this is the I have never used a colored pencil on this paper before. I always just used number 2 pencils, but I'm actually really just loving the way that the texture is there. Okay. So, now let's do a metallic magenta here. Or purple. I guess it's just purple. It's not magenta, but
it's kind of magenta.
Yeah. Then we'll go with the imperial purple from the non-water soluble.
Do creepers have grey spots? They do, don't they?
Boy, I don't know.
Somebody look up a creeper and tell me if they've got grey and white spots.
I don't think I have anything creeper textured in here. Okay, so we need one just to fill out the page. Let's grab...
Only when they get older.
So I did the blue, I did the purple. Let's do the pink here. See how that turns out. So once again, this is technically waterproof paper.
White and grey, okay.
And so I have no idea what's going to happen here. Okay. Do I need to move anything? I think the biggest problem is going to be hitting the watering can into the ring light. I might have to...
Don't do that.
No, I know that. Okay, I'm gonna... Okay. Give me a second to sort this out. Okay.
I will always give you a second that you request.
Here, okay. Y'all can see that?
I can see... Oh yeah, we can see that. Okay.
it's still dripping. Hopefully that didn't drip on anything important.
I feel very confident that you're
Gith says, looking at this, what could possibly go right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this, so it looks like the metallic definitely kind of came off a little bit more than the rest. Now I'm going to try smudging it while it's wet and seeing... Oh, wow. So...
I need to see this. I'm trying to see this, but I'm not getting...
So when I smudge the metallic...
Oh.
You can really do interesting stuff with that when it's wet, apparently. So just getting it wet doesn't pull it off the paper, but smudging it will. But let me try smudging the non-water soluble ones.
Silver.
Oh, wow.
Are those sparkly?
That's a night and day difference. The other ones aren't smudging at all. Whereas the water-soluble ones are definitely...
Well, they weren't kidding then.
Yeah. See, this is a cool... This is why I wanted to do this kind of experiment. I actually had this in mind before the stream. The only reason I wasn't set up was because I forgot. Like, I came up with this idea, like, 2 days ago, and then was like, oh, that'll be fun to do on the stream. But, like, not fun enough that, like, I remembered to have everything ready.
No. Why would you do that?
No.
That seems irresponsible of you, so...
Yeah.
I can't believe that works. I can't believe that you've got waterproof paper, to be honest, though.
Well, but like I said, if you spend... I don't have my kid in the summer anymore, but we used to spend a lot of time at pools, and... I wanted to be able to sit and write ideas down and brainstorm, like, because also the grid paper is good for like D&D map design and a bunch of other stuff. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so this is actually the sort of paper I was thinking of using for a bullet journal.
It's pretty standard it looks pretty standard for a bullet journal.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that I liked about this paper is I spent a lot of time waiting for buses in the rain. Because Nashville has kind of a rainy season, and so I would come up with a lot of ideas while I was waiting for the bus, and so I liked the idea that I wouldn't have to worry about ruining my notebook if I pulled it out, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Winnie T. Ford says, the water-soluble pencils are meant to be manipulated with a wet paintbrush. That makes sense. Yeah. See, now I know.
Joe is learning.
I am learning. But I am also glad to know that the other pencils, if I use them on the waterproof paper, even if they get wet, it won't run. Because, like, even if I try, like, scrubbing with a tissue here, the normal pencils, that's just on there.
Yeah.
Like, that's
not coming off.
No. I mean, which is great. That's what you want from a waterproof notebook.
True.
So, yay.
Yay.
I'm gonna dry this off now so it doesn't get like... Oh yeah, I forgot that I had like dumped I had the entire thing resting in there. So drying it out is gonna take a minute.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while, Joe. It's okay, we'll still be here.
I've never so that's the thing is like I've gotten these wet before, but I haven't really intentionally gotten them wet, and then I just kind of forgot about them and they dried on their own. But now that I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, maybe I should open this so it dries faster. Is there a trick to drying them? I don't think so. I would normally just, throw it back in my pocket. Like a lot of times too, if I'm throwing it back in my pocket in a swimsuit, it's going in a wet clothing, pocket. So, and then like, when I would pull it out later, or I would take it out before I did the laundry. But yeah. So I mean,
that's bad.
But yeah, whatever kind of plasticky paper this is, it's really good with normal graphite pencils, and I wasn't sure how it would work with these. Clearly it works well, so I'm excited about that. Because like that was one of the big holdups with using this for the bullet journal, was I needed to make sure that if it got wet, I wouldn't lose 90% of... If I did a bunch of cool, colorful framing and stuff. Because I'm not going to carry the colored pencils around for day-to-day taking notes and things in it. But like I wanted to do the design work, like the cool layouts and stuff you do. I wanted to do those with the color pencils. I didn't want those to all wash away as soon as it got wet.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
Hey, K Mingo has resubscribed for 13 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. It's good to see you. Okay. I just need a few white squares. Don't need a huge amount of white. I don't need less paint than that on that brush.
NJ Coffee Junkie says, "Is this the book you recommended to Manatee Gag to pick up for me last year?" That sounds like something I would do, but I don't. Honestly, I recommend a lot of books, so this might be one of several books. I don't know if it's the book.
I do not recall, Joe. That's all you need.
I don't know, man. Yeah. It sounds like me.
That's slightly different to what I said, but sure.
Okay. So yeah, I'm going to get all of this extra water out of the studio before something stupid happens. Be right back.
Or something Joe happens.
Also, when I was getting the watering can and the tray and the notebook, I didn't actually refill my drink, which is part of the point of getting up. So I'm going to go refill my drink and get all the other liquids out of here. Be right back.
Bye, Joe. I'm actually enjoying painting this. This is not my usual thing, but you know, gotta enjoy the little things. That's what you gotta do. Tabby is a hunter and will bring you gifts. Talking about cats. Oh, everybody take a drink. You are indeed thirsty. Okay, I do have a silver paint as well. So I don't know where I'm going to be using that, but I'm definitely going to be using that. Silverhorn, maybe. Oh. Caladrian has resubscribed for 3 months. It looks great. I can't believe how quickly it's gone from our perspective. I mean, I don't know how long I've been streaming for, but it's what, 2 hours tops? 2 hours tops. So, you know, 2 hours on a kid's thing is fine. I mean, I'm not going to go too much more on the squares because, you know, I'm not going to squarify the whole thing because that would be a nightmare. But you know what? I've had a lot of those recently. It's fine. Teaching gifts, what? Most of gifts you have to catch and return to the wild. Ah. Yeah. My cats go for animals. They are... I was going to say they're dead, but they're not. They're mostly mice. So... Okay. So that's what it looks like currently. It looks better than it does on that screen. But let's get some black on the eyes. What is Tabby trying to teach you? She's trying to teach you how to hunt. That's why cats bring in animals to their owners, because they think you never bring in animals. You are a rubbish hunter. This is me. If they bring you a dead one, they think you're a really rubbish hunter. If they bring you a live one, they think, all right, we can probably work on this. We can work on this. You're a huge bald kitten to them. Yeah, effectively. Creeper pony, creeper pony. Oh, Fluffy Cactus has resubscribed for 3 months. Choo choo. I know you've put in Atlas. Oh, we got a hype train. Hype train. I know you put Atlas in that one, but it's actually GLaDOS that's the hunter. Atlas brings in things that are toys. And by toys, I mean live creatures.
Uh-oh.
Hi.
Hi, Cleo.
Just talking about kitties.
Yeah, I can tell.
And I got a hype train.
Oh, hold on. I got a thing for that.
Look at the solar sizes of the Unicron. Thank you, Joe.
You're
Ellie
welcome.
Kitty Cheers. Yay.
Yeah, the thing is, water doesn't really even stick to this paper. I can just brush off each page with my hand, and it's basically dry at that point. I didn't realize that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Huh.
Okay, so now I need to figure out about. Delve around. Thank you for the 5 gift subs. It's very much appreciated. Thank you. So yeah, we've got. It is looking very Cthulhian horror, but aren't we all? Aren't we all?
Okay.
You're the one that feeds the cat. He sees me eat. Oh no. He thinks he sees you eat, but you haven't hunted in its presence. Well, yeah, one of my cats brought me a plastic wrap sandwich.
Wait,
And
what?
twice. Yeah, she gave me a sandwich wrapped in cling film.
Did she, like, go steal it from, like, a coffee shop or something?
I don't know. Well, it was a handmade sandwich. I think she was going into people's houses and stealing their lunch. They left out.
What?
Oh,
Oh my god.
twice. She also brought me an entire chapati.
What was that?
It's like a round Indian bread thing.
Oh gosh. She's like, this is
It's
what...
huge. It was bigger than her.
Yeah.
Thank you, Socks, for the biddies. Thank you, Sachet, for the biddies.
Yeah, so that sounds like
Yeah.
a going into people's houses thing for sure, yeah.
Oh
my
yeah,
gosh.
absolutely. That's exactly what she was doing. So, I don't know how she did it or why, but yeah. Is this the cat version of crows bringing you coins?
I like that it understood that you don't eat the same things as it. It wasn't just
Yeah.
bringing you like, hey, here's a raven. You know?
The thing was, she climbs in and out of my bedroom window because my bedroom window is in a roof.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how my cats get around. They go out the roof, they go down onto the fences and then walk around.
Mm-hmm.
But I was in bed when she brought the chapati.
Uh-huh.
I just heard a muffled "ah" from above me because my bed's right underneath the window.
Oh no. Just
And there
red.
was this cat with this round disc, and she dropped it on me when I looked at her. So,
What's interesting about that is that it wouldn't smell like food to a cat, right?
oh no, my cats eat bread.
They do.
They do. My cats like bread,
Oh, I didn't know
which
that.
is why I have to hide the bread.
Oh, we gotta get you a bread box, and then you can see if it's
Oh, I
bigger
do have a
than
bread
things.
box,
Oh.
but I had a plastic wrapped box of tortillas.
Mm-hmm.
And my cats are notoriously they're very food focused.
Oh.
So if I leave anything lying around, they will try and open it and eat it.
Yeah.
So one of them once knocked an Easter egg like that I hadn't eaten from the top of the fridge, opened it, eated it, and then had to go into
Like a hard-boiled
call
egg
it?
or like a chocolate Easter egg?
one of the big chocolate Easter eggs.
Oh no.
And yeah, cats should not eat chocolate.
Yeah.
It won't kill them like it would a dog, but it will kill them if they eat enough of it.
Yeah.
So she was in the vets for like 3 days whilst they got her heart rate under control, and
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so-
that's crazy.
it was a thing. Right, I'm now thinking about
Dogs Be Great says your cat is the real breadwinner.
doing a dark wash, like a really dark green wash, so we can get like the crevices.
Some
Oh,
people
you'd
are
have
asking,
considered eating that chapati. No, not after it's been out in your kids' mouth. Well, there you go. That's telling, isn't
Now
it?
you just seem ungrateful now, Cleo. Okay, so now you're not only stealing food, but you're wasting food. Like,
I'll do it again.
if stealing a loaf of bread to save your family versus stealing a loaf of bread to throw it away kind of feels like a different thing.
Well, the thing is, if I go to pick stuff up now to throw away, she knows that I'm going to do it, so she plays keep away with things that she brings home now. So, what am I saying? Cats are evil. That's all I'm saying, guys. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Somebody says, what are you drawing? I'm working on a rough template for a bullet journal type thing. We've got the same type of dot grid paper on both of these notebooks. One of them is waterproof and designed to fit in my pocket. The other one is like scratch paper. This is like just whatever normal paper. So I'm kind of prototyping and planning over here, and then I'll take whatever design I come up with and put it in the waterproof one, which we just tested the waterproofness with a watering can, which is why I'm also
trying this out. And it is indeed waterproof.
Yeah. Which, like I said, I knew that the paper was definitely waterproof, because I've used this in swimming pools all the time, but I always used it with a number 2 standard graphite pencil, never with these particular color pencils. So I needed to check these to make sure they weren't going to run off. Which we confirmed the metallic ones are water-soluble, and the other ones are not. So, no metallics in this, is the plan.
Oh, I didn't make this... Okay. I didn't change the color of the tail.
Did you eat the wrapped sandwiches, though, Cleo, because they were wrapped?
No! I don't know where it's been.
Okay.
Would you eat them, Joe?
I mean, it's not my cat stealing them. I feel like I'm in a different situation there.
But would you eat something that an animal brought you that you didn't know where it had been?
I mean, it would really depend on the context. I mean, like...
Or where it was. I mean, if it was like a bear that's bringing you food, you eat that food.
Yeah, you don't want to make the bear angry.
No.
If I was, like, backpacking or something, and I got, like, stuck somehow, and an animal started bringing me food, I mean, I would probably eat it.
I think that's a different situation, and
I'm just saying, there are not no situations in which an animal bringing me food, I would eat it. Like, so I'm kind of working backwards from the most extreme cases, right?
Yeah.
But it feels like, I mean, I would have to consider it case by case. I'd have to see what the animal brought me.
Okay, if my cat,
if your cat brought you a completely wrapped, unpunctured Whisper bar.
No,
you wouldn't, even though it's wrapped and airtight or whatever. No.
Yep. The answer is no.
You just throw away a candy bar. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can never trust if it looks unwrapped. And I'm going to be honest here, cats' mouths, no.
Are cats' mouths bad for people?
Cats' mouths are
I don't have a cat,
terrible.
so I don't know this stuff about mouths.
Cats' mouths, aside from human mouths, are and Komodo dragons, they are like the worst thing. I don't think you can see it here. I have a tiny little round scar from where my cat bit me because I was trying to get to the vet. Mm-hmm. And that swelled up my entire arm. Mm-hmm. And that whole puncture, I could get pus. You know Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I could Spider-Man pus for a good 10 inches across the room.
Very cool.
Very cool, but also nearly had me in hospital on a drip.
Yeah, that's
with my arm opened so it could get, like, it's bad.
Yeah, no, it's
bad. Yeah. Carnivore mouths are terrible. Cats are really bad. Cat mouths are just, like, double plus ungood, you know? Mm-hmm. So, do not recommend. Would unsubscribe.
Full Metal Benji says a Whisper bar, I would consider removing my own foot first. Okay.
Oh, cat scratch fever, yeah. Ew, I'd watch a video of it though. Okay. I mean, it was cool looking. when I was able to do that. And the doctor wasn't impressed. The doctor was actually horrified that I had let it go so long.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really hurting. It was just sore and burny. But as soon as the pulse got to the point where I could Spider-Man it, then it was a case of, no, you know what, I'm good. I think I should probably
I
should probably go to the doctor about this. When I hear Scrat's Fever, it sounds like a dance from the 70s. I was hoping for powers. Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's a genre of videos on YouTube that is now people catching things out of midair and trying to see if they've got Spider-Man powers, just to make sure.
Wait, catching things out of midair?
You know, like the first Spider-Man movie.
Oh, where he caught the
catches
stuff on the tray. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they're just like, they pause for a second and then they do the Spider-Man thing, and then they're just like, dang it.
Oh, gotcha.
But that's a whole genre of pictures now.
Okay, so I figured out that this is the waterproof notebook is 28 dot grids tall. So if I was going to do like a weekly calendar, I could separate that into 7 dots tall. So that's or wait, yeah. So then
remember, you can always do double page spreads if things need to go.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is, so I would have like 4 days on one side and then 4 days facing it, so the whole week would be open, right, at once, and then I would have like an extra notes or whatever category box. That seems reasonable.
I don't know, socks. Whatever Anna is on, I don't know. I don't know. I'm on mobile. But Dr. Spider. Oh no, you were talking about me. I mean, like I say, it looked pretty cool. It looked pretty cool.
Red Rag says, I can attest I work in emergency and have seen many people need surgery after cat bites. Oh, good to know.
Yeah, well, what he said, I don't know if this was him trying to scare me, but he says that he would, if it had gone any further, if I'd left it any longer, he would have had to open up my arm, flay it, and have antibiotics just dripping on the open wound.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and I was just like, that sounds like a lie, but I don't know. It might have been true.
Yeah, I mean, anytime doctors are actively flaying you,
yeah,
that's like,
what he said. It sounds like a lie. I don't think I believe it.
Yeah.
But it sounds Mel. But it definitely made me pay attention.
Yeah.
You know?
That tracks. I would pay more attention after hearing that. Okay.
It is one of those things that was just sort of like, did not know. We'll be more careful in the future.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's
That sounds like it would suck.
Yeah, I don't know that I would want that. So
Neither did I.
I think these are 1/2 centimeter dots. So yep, so that would be 7 right there. So if I wanted to come in,
You would have had to have an incision and drainage to clear it out. May mean opening up the whole area. Oh! Okay. No, that's possible for sure. Oh! I thought he was just making things up, but people are going, yeah, no, that sounds right.
Yeah, a lot of people in my chat are confirming that. Ah, jeez.
Jesus Christ. No. Huh.
The more you know with
The
Cleo.
more you know. I actually think the Unicron is done. I mean, apart from the white of the bottom, but I can't hold the unicorn whilst I'm doing the white bit at the bottom, so I'm gonna have to leave that for another week.
No, that sounds fair. Yeah, I'm feeling
You're
good.
just testing it.
I got I'm making preliminary progress on my bullet journal concept.
And you did science today.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that little hexagonal pattern.
Oh yeah.
That's really nice.
That's one of the well, I was also playing with the stencils because I haven't gotten to use the stencils very much. This is a new set
Well,
that
no,
I picked up.
I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, oh, that would make a great bullet journal theme.
Yeah,
Different
that's
coloured hexagons.
well, and that's the thing is I was thinking like I could do like I could use these so that way I can get things kind of standardized when I'm trying to do a repeated thing across multiple days or a month or something.
Yeah.
You know, for certain elements. Obviously, not
does sound
everything
cool.
needs to come from a stencil. I want to have some freehand drawing, but you know.
Oh yeah, of course. That's the whole point of it.
You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, just kind of
I just
playing
like-
around with the color contrasts here and seeing.
So are we saying that next week we're both going to be doing bullet journals?
I think that that's reasonable.
Okay.
I'm gonna have
I
to.
do like your little sketches, Joe. They're really cool.
Oh, well, thank you. Like I said, there were just more color studies than anything, but yeah.
I will say that this does look better from my point of view than it does on camera because I can just see a little tiny image of it.
Oh, the
Yeah.
yeah.
It does look better from my point of view.
Yeah, no, that definitely is a better angle.
Like from the front. And the colours seem to be better. I might post a picture of it for next time. But yeah, I think I'm done for the day.
All right.
All right.
I'm excited. I feel like we got a lot done. I'm feeling good about this.
I think we did get a lot done. I'm shocked, but we did.
Yay.
Will I take photos and post on Twitter? I'll try. I might forget, but I'll try.
Yeah.
Me forgetting things is a theme. So, all right.
Yeah.
So when you're ready, Joe.
Yeah, I think we should probably break off into our own rooms. Although,
Yep.
I don't know if you saw, but one of the hermits who doesn't stream often at this time is actually streaming. So I think I'm gonna send people that way.
Okay. I will have a look.
Alrighty.
Okay. I will see you in a bit, Joe.
Catch you later,
Bye-bye.
Cleo. Alrighty, stream. I don't know if you saw, but ZF Plays is currently streaming, so we're gonna go ahead and raid Zed. Zed is somebody. Our schedules don't overlap very much, so we haven't done a lot of collabs, but very cool guy. I had so much fun playing Mario Kart with him. When you get over there, say howdy, y'all. Joe Hills raid here. And that's our raid message. So anyway, until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Do 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 do.